Gibraltar's bar is small enough that each of you, as advocates, can really help shape its culture. And this responsibility now falls to you.
You may be familiar with both of Gibraltar's newest King's Counsel as key players in the McGrail inquiry. Indeed, introducing the pair at the Supreme Court today, Gibraltar's oldest serving KC, Abraham Serfati, said they'd had more exposure in a few months than many lawyers do in years. But their appointments come after long and varied careers. Nick Cruz began studying law in the 80s, in fact telling the court today his mother had inspired his legal route, suggesting that as he argued so much, he may as well get paid for it. He said he was brought up to believe in hard work and trying harder, and said the role of lawyers is now more important than ever.
What we're seeing both internationally, domestically, generally, is really a difficulty in pursuing individual rights, and not just individual rights, but at a more national level. And I think the legal profession and the judiciary are really the bastion of anything that relates to democracy, good governance, process, people's individual rights. So I think more than ever we're seeing the importance of this role, the role of the judiciary and of the legal profession in supporting that.
And you mentioned in your speech today the use of AI. What consequences do you see artificial intelligence having on the legal profession in the future as the use of it becomes more prominent?
Well, actually, I think it has potential advantages in terms of lowering costs, but it also has great threats to young lawyers. I was in a conference, of international conference of lawyers only in October, 150 lawyers, mainly American lawyers, and they talked about the fact that recruitment had reduced by 80% of young lawyers because of the use of AI. Because to teach a young lawyer to produce a document takes time. And if you can put it in a machine that produces it in 30 seconds, then perhaps that's a better use of time for the client. But how do we get young lawyers through an experience? So it produces opportunities, but huge challenges. And having a son who's just finishing his solicitor's exams, it worries me that actually what it might do is reduce the amount of jobs for young people.
Opportunities for young people was something Julian Santos also spoke of during his Supreme Court speech. Gibraltar's youngest KC encouraged what he called the glittering gallery of silks to give junior lawyers opportunities to step up.
Sometimes it's, you're the youngest person in the office and you get a file chucked at you, figuratively speaking, for you to go ahead and give it your best. And those, at the time, maybe it feels a bit daunting, but in the end, those are what forms you. And it really benefited me, as I said in my speech, in my practice in London, that I had that, had been on my feet in the magistrates' court, before juries, before judges, and you get rid of that fear factor as quickly as you can, and you get to finding your voice in court and finding your style. It's our job to step up and to fight for the clients, and that's what I did, and it served me well in the long run.
He now looks forward to the next stage of his career with plans to get back into adversarial advocacy.
It was a strange and new experience in the inquiry, being having to be an inquisitive advocate and a neutral advocate, and it's an adjustment to go back into the cut and thrust of litigation where you've got a client and you're fighting your client's cause. So that's really one of the things that I've always enjoyed, so I'm very much looking forward to that.
You mentioned the McGrail inquiry, and of course the report has now been published. Would you like to make any comments on Peter Openshaw's findings?
I don't think it would be appropriate for me to comment on the findings. I'm just very pleased that we managed to publish a report and complete 4 years of hard work with a thorough, comprehensive report.
Mr. Santos said it was a joy to be working in Gibraltar again. There really is no place like home, he said.